descending from the tribes of Africa, inspired by the great black leaders.
Vainglorious, this is protected by the red, the black, and the green, with a key, zoom.
Dynamic, articulate.
If hip-hop has the ability to corrupt young minds, it also has the ability to uplift them.
Cause I'm seeing bright visions of how we should be living. Unified, strong, making our own decisions. Hip-hop city, higher minds will listen. Some won't get it and find time for dissing. But I always been ahead of the preservation mission. So I always been the head of the preservation mission. And one sure way to preserve what we're spitting. Preserve what we've written. Preserve how we wiggling. Preserve our mixing, our raw sound. It's to finally establish a small hip-hop resort town. A place where artists from all over the earth can come and find peace, can come and spit their verse, can find support of all sorts for arts done for fun to achieve this hip-hop.
Hi, welcome everybody. My name is TrinnyCee, and I'm here live in direct with the one and only Willie Green, straight from Real Deal Entertainment.
What up, yo?
Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you doing today?
I'm pretty good today.
You are pretty good today.
Yeah, happy to be here with you.
Thank you. I appreciate you giving us some time and energy. Who is Real Deal Entertainment?
Real Deal Entertainment is a boutique label located in St. Paul, Minnesota. We have a radio station called Real Deal Radio, and we have a Roku station called Real Deal TV also. And we're here to we basically manage 10 artists across the nation, and we're here to help artists blow up.
Blow up. What is boutique label? Do tell us.
Boutique is basically a label that is financially independent, 100% without any majors' help.
Okay. So I can't come in there and buy no red bottoms then, but I could probably get a red bottom song, huh?
Yep.
Okay. There we go. There we go. So how long have you been doing your thing?
Again, I've been doing music since I graduated from Central High School in 1989. You know, Central High School had TV production, studio there, so
everything.
It had everything. And
yeah.
The Twin Cities, St. Paul, Minneapolis is music. Period.
Facts. It is.
You know, from
of
Prince
great
and
music.
Alexander O'Neal, and man, the list goes on.
Jimmy Jam, Flight Time, them doing
goodness
their
gracious.
thing here. Big
Yep.
up Ray Seville.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of rich history here. Lots.
Yep.
And so why did you decide to do what you're doing? Like,
Well, I mean, hip hop was kind of getting bigger and bigger when I was coming up in high school. And then when you get out of high school and you finally get a couple dollars, you're like, you know what? Let me try to record a record. Then you record a record and people hear it and they start liking it. You start throwing parties and people are coming. It's like, yep, this is it. I'm in it.
okay. What's the best party you ever threw?
Best party I ever threw? It was a birthday party. I had a birthday party and like everybody from Club Cristal came to my
Oh my
house
gosh, Club
afterwards.
Cristal.
Yes. I had magnums of Hennessy and Alizé, Incredible Hawks,
Yeah,
basically. And
yeah.
it was lit. Even the neighbors was like, they're loud. Nope, we're going over there.
Right.
You know, it's going down.
That was a good venue.
Yeah, beautiful
My boy
venue.
Chopper was involved in that at the end there. Yep. Okay. So what has kept you going to continue to do what you do?
I don't like to quit. I don't like to give up.
My grandma says we sleep when we dead, right?
Yeah, and plus I want to give back to people who probably don't have opportunities to get their music out of the Twin Cities. Like no one's really there to help them.
Right.
You know, on a 24/7 hour basis. I don't mind doing it.
Okay. Favorite female artist right now?
My favorite female artist, like in the world, I like Cardi B.
Okay.
She cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got a different kind of energy, and she keeps it. She's aggressive, but keeps it feminine at the same time. So it's kind of like, yeah, you know, I can listen to that. I can play that.
Favorite female artist in Minnesota right now?
My favorite female artist in Minnesota is an artist that I'm trying to really lock in on my label. Her name is E.B. Marie. I think she's a great performer, and we recently did a show at Caboose, and you know, one of the persons tied with the industry comes to me like, she on your label? I'm like, no. He's like, she should be.
Right.
A little this and that, and she's out of here. You know,
Yeah.
we were both just looking at her performing. I'm like, yo, the energy there, it's there. And even if nobody was paying attention, she didn't stop.
She
And I
didn't
was
stop.
like,
And she's passionate about her craft, and
Yeah.
she's invested. Like seriously, like when I say invested, from everything to the eyelash go down to the color of the shoes. She does it, and she can do it all herself.
Yeah. I like that too. I
Yeah.
like that she's like
One woman team sometimes when it comes to getting it
she ain't gonna
together.
have to worry about that no more.
Right. Big up Evie Marie. We had her on the show a couple months ago, and her energy is fabulous, and she's put in a lot of work, and it's just a beautiful soul. So when you talk about moving forward on a daily basis in this scene, how do you stay fluid with the changes?
You gotta like see what's gonna change, see what the next trend is gonna be, and you have to
Jump
be
on it.
part of that.
Be part of it.
You know, you can't control it. You can't
Right.
control the traffic. Just be part of it.
Right.
You know, like we got a DJ from Minnesota via Southern Illinois and Iowa named DJ K Young at XM. She's helped us get some of our singles broke out
Right.
there, you know, and that's like the most wonderful thing ever.
Right.
We have other label, you know, connections like the great hip hop pioneer Van Silk. You know,
Right.
if people study Van Silk, they'll be like, whoa, I mean,
Facts.
that's my A&R's mentor.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you don't find stuff like that.
A lot of legendary work put in.
Yeah, we connect with the right people to help, you know, and I mean, we've been through some rough edges where, you know, it just doesn't go that way,
Right.
where you should quit. It's like, yo, I should quit this right now. But I'm one of them persons like, nope, we got this. We'll just do
Yeah.
something else. You know, whether
Yeah.
whether we lose money or not, I don't care. We just keep it going.
Right.
You know, I mean, you're always going to have a loss somewhere,
Yeah.
but a loss can be a gain because knowledge-wise, you picked up some information to make sure
Facts.
that never happens
Right.
again.
So how much did you really lose? Because that information is
Yeah.
so valuable,
Yep.
right?
Definitely.
So coming up, do you have any things that are coming up that we need to know about?
We'll have a show at Caboose with a label from Chicago. It's my sister label, I should say, in a way.
Right.
All that information to be on social media soon,
Okay.
you know, because it's kind of like that stuff changes every
Right.
day. There's some really.
Is it in November or December?
It's in December.
December.
December
so you're gonna
3rd.
be keeping us warm in the cold.
Yeah. And I
Let's
just hope
get it.
everybody comes out and have a good time. The last couple of shows at their own, I didn't want to, but it was perfect. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And then
Yeah.
next summer we'll be bringing Raspberry Island back. You
Yay.
know, a lot of people been actually
Yeah.
requesting it. Like, Will, why won't you do it? I'm like, I'm gonna be honest. This summer, I just want to enjoy summer, so I did.
I hear you.
It kind of like, yo,
I
are
wish I
we
could've
doing
enjoyed
it?
summer.
Yeah.
I was working so hard. Is summer done yet?
Yeah, we need that. We need a small festival.
Yeah.
You know, family type,
And
more
on the St.
intimate.
Paul side,
Yep, on the St.
yes.
Paul side,
Yeah.
and I know I can do it, so
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and do it.
I was
No
at the
big
first
deal.
one. That was really nice.
Yeah, it was cool,
Yeah.
you know.
And like I said, St. Paul has so much culture and just so much options as well. And the
Yep.
the parking down there is amazing. The view is gorgeous.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that'll be exciting. So maybe we'll bring you back in closer to the date to share with us.
Definitely.
Yeah. If you could do one project right now with anybody in the world, who would that be? I love when I have to tap into their brain.
You know what? Roxanne Shante.
Really? I know, right?
Yeah, and it's funny because it's
I
like,
just want to be in the same room with her.
yeah, and it's like I told my A&R that I'm like, yo, why don't you reach your people, da-da-da-da. She was like, I can get that done. You know what I mean? And she kind of reached out, you know what I'm saying? And we'll see.
Right.
We'll see.
Have
I
you
want
seen the
to,
documentary on?
yes. I want to do an old school hip hop artist.
Nice.
I just want to take one of the
Yeah.
OGs and just do a single and be like, did he put that out? Yep.
Yep, he did that.
That's all. Even if it didn't make a dime, I don't
Right.
care. I just want to put it out. That's all.
Yes, that's a good one.
She'd definitely be the one though.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Put in the work. Yes. And so we are here, live and direct, Hip Hop Nation, with Willie Green from Real Deal Entertainment. What's your social media?
Willie Green.
Really Green.
Yes.
And Real Deal, is it REAL and then Deal?
Yep.
And then is it entertainment or
It's
ENT?
ENT on it.
ENT.
Yep.
So you got to check them out. We'll be right back.
What's good, everybody? It's your girl EB, and when I'm in the Twin Cities, I watch Hip Hop Nation on First World TV.
Like a lot of young male artists to me, I know they haven't had a lot of older male figures in their life. So it's like when I'm trying to give them direction, it's kind of that.
They're fighting against
Yeah,
it.
they're fighting against it, and I get it, and I understand. It's like I come from a family setting where uncles, dads, so on, they give you direction, you do it, and
Right.
that's that. So my respect for someone older than me is probably going to be a little different than some of the younger artists I know, and it's only hurting them because there's a lot of older people that like music that want to invest, but it's like when you start trying to give direction to somebody you're spending your money on, and they're just kind of like, whatever, I don't hear what you're talking about. It's like, well, I'm not investing in that. I'm not doing this. I'm not comfortable with this, you know?
Yep. I got a crump dancer at home, and that hip hop scene of dancers, religiously, they rehearse 4 to 5 hours a day. Like, they got a couple shows coming up and they're getting ready to go to Texas. And crump is a very, very, very physical dance, but just the work ethic that they have.
Always has been from day one, yeah.
Right, and the work ethic they have and the dedication and the time. And then I've been around some artists recently and I'm like, well, are you guys going to have a rehearsal? Is there a sound check? Are you going to pop in the bathroom and test your vocals out? And they're like, no, we're just going to show up on stage. I'm like, oh, well, how do you perfect it if you aren't putting in the work? So
one thing to say that is one thing I will give Twin Cities artists that they're prepared. Now, when it's showtime, they was prepared in the car, they was prepared at home. They are ready. You don't need a sound check. They ready to rock and roll. There's not a show I haven't thrown where someone sounds bad. They come out and they do
sometimes they hold
work.
the mic just a little bit too close.
You'll get better with that with time. And it's kind of
like etiquette,
Yeah, and it depends if there's a monitor on stage where you actually can hear yourself. If you can't hear yourself, you're kind of like, yo, am I too loud? Is it too quiet? And stuff like that. So the struggles with that is going to happen depending on the venue that they're performing at. I mean, we got some good hip-hop venues like Red Sea, Caboose. Those are really good hip-hop venues, and they're built for that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So as far as for artists to have places to perform here and hone their craft.
There's a couple left.
Yeah, it's a couple left.
There's a couple left.
You know, and they're welcoming,
Yep.
but we can't destroy that.
Right.
You know what I mean? We can't just like, okay, I don't own the venue. I don't care if the next person performs here and come and fight and commit crimes, so the venues don't want to allow us in. We need to covet those venues and be like, yo, we need that, you know, because if we lose that, it's like, where are you going to show your craft at? Online, and who's watching, you know?
Right. So since we talk about Twin Cities and Twin Cities artists, who is your favorite male artist right now?
I have two, and that's Reed Bricks and Mr. Mayhem.
Okay.
You know, they're really close to me, especially Mayhem.
Yes.
I'm kind of like, I'm not saying I'm the first person to record him, but I think I'm one of the first persons to record him for sure. And Bricks is my main artist, really, really good. I mean, lyrically, his metaphors are probably beyond most people that you'll hear in this area. You know, I mean, he's liked all over the country.
Right.
They love him, you know, Chicago, New York.
Putting in that work, huh?
Houston, they like his music. And also the promotion's 24 hours with him.
Got
Any
it.
artist working with me, I'm going to promote you 24 hours a day. 3 a.m, video might pop up.
Instagram and Twitter and all them guys say 7 to 10 times a day. And people be like, they post too much. But if you want that analytics to go up and it keeps at the top, you got to be on it.
Yeah, so I'm going to work hard for any artist that is on the label, you know, and I have other people that work with me. There's like a lot of things that I have cooking for these artists, and I don't even say anything. I might we have a group chat, and I'll post it, and they're kind of like, what? He didn't tell me. I shouldn't have to.
Right.
My job is to go out and find you some opportunities, and that's what I'm going to do.
Say that again.
Your
job is to what?
My job is to go find you some opportunities, and you have to act accordingly when those opportunities are set on the table for you. You know? Yeah, you got to understand the assignment.
Right.
Whether it's like my partner has recently had opportunities for artists to have syncs, you know, for movies, TV shows, and games, and she posted and like no one
response.
And I'm like, yo, one sync could get you $10,000 and thousands of people listening to your music.
What is a sync?
Sync is basically like your song will be attached to a movie, TV show.
Right.
It could be the header of the movie.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that I've seen songs were played through the whole movie. You know, and it's like that one single song. And if you get that, then you know you're gonna make money. You're just gonna
and
make
there's
money.
so much ways to make money. It's not just on stage. You could be doing voiceovers, like you said. You can be you could be a liner on a movie, on a commercial. Like there's so much, and then have that residual money. People have to understand there's also royalties on everything outside of just being on stage performing a song. There's royalties. The most royalties come from writing your own music, number one. But you know, there's all types of money out here, and there's all type of opportunity, and people just something like that. Somebody posts something and I be asking questions. Like, ask a question. What is that? How do we get
also,
it done?
Also, a lot of like you said, like there's a lot of our people own restaurants and clothing stores, and I just want to tell those restaurants and clothing stores that are struggling, use these artists to help your brands go further. If they say your brand in a song or something like that, or use your storefront in a video,
Yep.
man, that could help out everybody.
Barter exchange.
You know, and culturally there's that separation, and I'm like, I hate it. It's like I reach out to a brand like, yo, let me get some of your shirts so I can get them to somebody that wear them on the video, and it's like, I'm like, all right, you know, so
hesitate there.
your fault. I
That's
mean,
on
we've
you.
done that for a
Yeah.
couple people, and it actually worked out, but
Yeah.
it's like you'll probably sell more merchandise before you sell some music. So you're gonna sell your first T-shirt in bulk before you really sell a song. So, you know, or you might even sell more chicken wings for a restaurant before you actually sell a song. So they need the link.
Chicken and waffles will be good right about now. This is your girl TrinnyCee. We'll be right back with the one and only Willie Green from Real Deal Entertainment.
All right, peace, y'all. This be Graveyard Shifter. When I'm in the Twin Cities, I watch Hip Hop Nation on First World TV. Peace.
Welcome back. My name is Trinny, and I'm here with the one and only Willie Green from Real Deal Entertainment, and we chopping it up talking about music and opportunity and entrepreneurship. Tell me, what's been a struggle for you creating your boutique label?
I haven't had any struggles at all.
Ooh, I like that.
No, I'm serious.
I love that.
I don't have any
love
struggles,
that.
and I say, and I'm, you know, a lot of people they don't like my cockiness. I don't care, you know.
Right.
I think humble is the biggest hating word there is. That's just me, you know. I think that my drive is probably a little harder than my A&R or my label partner or the artist on that, and that's fine.
Right.
I'm fine with that. If you're offended by how hard I work, then you definitely need some reprogramming. You know, we can't, especially selling music. Like I said, it changes so much. You know, genres change so much what they like. So it's like I'm trying to get every artist that I need to fit into every genre that's going to be hype at that time. You know, I seen E.B. Marie and I was like, yo, she has to be on my label. You know,
Yes,
Rebricks
she's amazing,
on my label.
and she goes hard. She goes hard for everything that she does. She really puts time and investment into every moment.
If she really gives me her time, she's out of here. I never guarantee anything. Guarantee it. Rebricks already on his way.
Right.
I like Jay Solo. I like man, it's so hard. I like Just Will. I like Vince Jules. I'm probably saying her name not wrong. Drama G. I could name so many artists. Tay Supreme, really, really raw. New artist that just hired me to manage him, named 2 times. This kid here, I ain't never seen nobody as motivated as he's throwing shows, videos. I'll be like, yo, man, you need to do this. He just does it. I'm like, oh, man, he did it. You know, you need a video to the song. It's coming out.
Right.
There's some really hard-working artists out here, and then there's some artists that feel that they're just too privileged to do anything, you know, and we don't have that many outlets like this, like media outlets. Like, I didn't even know this existed. And Katie, you know, did the interview with you, and I was like, whoa, that's so important. You know what I'm saying? I don't even do interviews. I'm like, I gotta be on there.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think I've had the honor and glory of just redefining how this show hits different markets and bringing in different people, because there's so much going on in our cities that's of value. There's so much of everything. And now is the time to like unite. And if I can be a piece of that pie, especially if it's a sweet potato pie, then let's do it. With some whipped cream, let's do it. So, I mean, the space is here. It's here. This show reaches over 11 cities, especially that are broadly diverse in our communities. And so, and then again, it's the opportunity to traffic it on social media, right? So thank you for being here. So now talking about goals for, let's say, we're almost near 2023, resolution, right? What is an immediate goal for your brand? And what you guys are
I
doing?
want to chart more artists radio-wise. You know, our radio station just went full DRT.
Okay.
So, you know, they'll be able to see their numbers, how many spins they're getting. So someone will be charting soon. I want to make sure that every artist's social media presence is at a higher level. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Make sure that their content creating is more. You know what I mean? If they could post 10, 15 times a day, make sure their streaming numbers are higher.
Right.
Make sure they get some sync licensing
Right.
going into
And people
next
know when
year.
they post, you could be sharing a post and it's still going to push you up there. I hope people understand that. Like, there's so much, it's such a unique world when it comes to that social media and the analytics and getting that traction. Like,
Right, but don't judge yourself on 2 views.
Right, facts.
You know, just
Yep.
because it's 2 views, so what? You know,
It might be the 2 most important people.
it might be that, and then
Yeah.
go create more.
Yeah.
And I a lot of times I post as a motto to what they need to do.
Right.
I'm not posting for me, I'm posting for them, and I'm hoping somebody goes, hey, that guy just posted a video from a year ago. A year ago, 2 people seen it, 2 people liked it. He posted it a year later, 5,000 people viewed it. I'm like, you could have a record inside your catalog that actually could chart and get your career up before a new record can.
Right.
So
You could be sitting on the plane and somebody be like, "Oh, what
Yep.
are you watching?" And the next,
Yep.
I've literally
Yep.
had it happen, and the next time they reach out to the person,
Yep.
like they make that link. So
And Twin Cities artists, don't be afraid to let older people assist you
the pioneers
in becoming something.
Right.
Don't think that there's a statement, they go, don't listen to somebody who hasn't done it. Maybe they just didn't want to, but they want to invest for you to do
maybe they've
it.
done it and you just don't know because you ain't
Yeah.
opening your mind to sit down and have that conversation.
Yeah, I
with
mean, I
them.
posted my CD
Right.
recently that I did with a couple artists, David Ross and Naja Shaw. They had a group called LOC, and they have fans to this day. And this is like 20-something years later, and people still follow them
Right.
heavily. I mean, Naja Shaw has a song called it's Mr. Get Money. It's still trending on iTunes. And I'm like, yo, I haven't touched that record. We haven't promoted it, and it's still like
Right.
100 people a day listen to the song. I'm like, man, this is crazy.
Right.
You know, when we're both like, well, we did promote it heavy back then, so I could see why people are listening now. I just feel like local artists are so offended by older black men, I want to say, trying to support them, and that's kind of sad.
But I think it goes back to what you said a few minutes ago. When they don't have the family structure and the father figures in their life, they might not know how to take that type of love, that genuine interest in the fact that, yo, I want to see you progress, and maybe you should try it like this. They might be like, this is new. I don't like this. This is a conspiracy.
Yeah,
It's ulterior
yeah,
motive.
yep,
Like literally,
yep.
you know what I mean? I mean,
I'm
this
just here to help.
generation-
I'm
yeah,
just here
this
to help.
generation
That's
thinks
it.
different. It's like they want love, but they don't know how to embrace it sometimes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They know how to
Right.
embrace it on IG and on Snap and TikTok, but like literally genuinely sit down in the room and be like, okay, I'm gonna tell you, you can do this better and you're doing this really well. As soon as you say you can do this better, they're like, oh my gosh, just offended. And it's like, I want that constructive feedback. I don't call it criticism anymore. I want that feedback. I want you to tell me how I did. The other day I sent my show to Jamaica. They're like, okay, you was smiling with the guy, you wasn't smiling with the girl. Make sure you smile all the time.
Yep.
I ask all the time, like, and they do the same thing, right? So it's like, I want to know how I'm doing, and I want everybody else to experience. I think we have such a valuable gift that we've put in the work, and we've gone through it in so much different circles of ways. We've gone through it where there was just a pager. There was flyers. It was hanging out the door, posting it on the lampposts with
we
the
didn't have
staple gun.
social media.
There was no, and the parties
yeah.
were packed.
Parties were packed.
Packed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the Twin Cities. That's the thing
Yeah.
about it. In Minneapolis is a party spot, man. You got to
Period.
think
It
the whole
was.
downtown is party. I'm like,
University Avenue in St. Paul used to be the music capital.
Yeah.
On that note, do you want to give some shout outs and some big ups? As we call
I
it,
definitely
Mike?
want to give my A&R Kathleen McDonald some shout outs. You know, I'm probably screwed the name up, but it is what it is. Reed Bricks, I want to give him a shout out. E.B. Marie, new to the team, give
Big
her a
up,
shout
E.B..
out. Pills Doe out in Detroit, Goku in Des Moines, Bar None in Chicago, Devon Shea in Houston. I mean, it's you guys. You got every opportunity you can to make it. I have every tool there is in the industry. I don't care if it's Def Jam or Rock Nation, whatever they use. I have access to that. Whoever artist you are in the Twin Cities, just reach out to me. I got you. If you got a budget, we can make it happen. You know what I'm saying?
Even just to do the networking, reach
Yes,
out.
yes.
Because
You
you're
don't
not
have to
gonna
be
get
on my
nowhere-
label to get help,
You're not
you
going
know?
to get nowhere if you don't network in this industry or any industry for that matter.
Yeah.
Period.
Facts.
Thank you for joining. Again, my name is TrinnyCee, here live and direct on Hip Hop Nation, brought to you by First World TV with the one and only Willie Green from Real Deal Entertainment. One love.
Peace.
And I was-
What's up? Smoke D, House of DJs, Black Medallion Radio. And when I'm in town, I'm always checking out Hip Hop Nation on First World TV. Tune in. Shot bout!
Hi, welcome. My name is TrinnyCee, and I'm here again in the studio doing what we do, bringing you some wonderful content with some amazing people. And I have the honor to be here with...
Graveyard Shifter.
Say it with your outside voice.
Hey, Graveyard Shifter, thanks for having me.
Oh my
Appreciate
goodness. Where did that name come from? Graveyard Shifter.
All right, so basically, when I used to work on my first album, I noticed something about the tracks that I picked from the first album, right? All the tracks that were making it to the first album were tracks that I actually wrote overnight.
Okay.
Right? So it was like,
Oh, like the graveyard shift.
right.
Oh,
Right.
how long I've been following you on social media and never knew that.
Right. And that's the funny thing about it, right? Because a lot of people
Think something else.
they think I'm a horrorcore rapper. And it's like, nah, I'm not.
Maybe you got to steer into that genre for a little bit, make some paper.
I mean, I could do it, but if I'm being honest, it's gonna box me in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Literally.
Yeah, exactly.
It might kill you out.
It might kill me out. So, I usually just tell people that I do the graveyard shift with
Burning
my
that
writing.
midnight oil.
There it is. Right. So that's how my name.
And wait, with your writing, so let's go right into that. So
Okay.
you write your own music?
I do.
Oh, that's amazing.
I do.
Nice.
Everything I've ever put out, I write. I produce everything I've ever put out. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long have you been doing the graveyard shift?
Well, good one. I'd say I've been doing it since the age of 16.
Okay.
But
So not that
professionally,
long. Right, yeah.
But professionally, I'd say around 18, 20.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Are you from the Twin Cities?
Initially, I'm not really from the Twin Cities
Okay.
like that. I moved out here like maybe in the year '02
Got it.
and stuff like that. And,
Mm-hmm.
it's been home since then. So, yeah, I am from the Twin Cities, folks.
Okay. Yeah,
I love
transplant.
it here. Yeah.
I'm a transplant into the cities too.
Exactly. I love it here.
When I tell people I live in St. Paul, they're like, huh?
Right.
Okay, Minneapolis. Oh, Minneapolis.
Right,
Are you
right.
okay? Like,
Right. You know what I'm saying? So,
I'm
yeah.
good. Minnesota. Yeah, we're good. Yeah.
We good here, man. I think the thing I love about the state is how calm sometimes it can be, minus the social issues.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
The
So
injustice.
the
yes.
injustice. I
yes.
can't. Oh my God.
I mean, that's everywhere in this country.
It is crazy. It is crazy.
Yeah.
So,
How have you, let's talk about that real quickly because I like to tap in on how we are doing personally. How have you, in the last few years, been dealing with all of the atrocities that are continuously being done to people of color?
that's a great question. I really love that question because it's something that I'm very passionate about. And, I feel like, dealing with the atrocities is talking about it. So I have tried to use my platform
Okay.
to talk a lot more about, the things going on.
Right.
Right? And I
And
like
even just what you're feeling, because I'm
And-
sure
yeah.
there might be somebody out there that's feeling the same thing.
Exactly.
And not able to speak.
Right. And I like to put all my emotions on the table.
Yeah.
That's one thing. I think
Do
anybody
you wear
that's
your
a
heart
fan
on
of
your
me,
sleeve?
I do wear
I
it on
heard
my
that
sleeve.
lately, yeah, that I do that.
Right. And I think a lot of my fans, they will tell you, like, that dude, he never holds back on how he really feels.
Right.
I say it all. I put it all out there.
Right.
So, I feel like, everything going on in Minnesota, we cannot be quiet about it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? We
And
got
in
to
the
talk
world,
about
because
it.
it's a global connected world.
Yes, I agree. I
A
absolutely
lot of
agree.
people don't realize that. When I was going to school in Trinidad, that's one of the things we learned about in principles of business is that we are all globally connected. If you get your sugar from somewhere,
Yeah.
you get your sneakers. I think people finally were tuning into that during the pandemic because
That's
of all
true.
the delays and
Yes.
cut off of supplies. But
That's a fact.
everything that happened here recently, especially even with Philando, may he rest in peace. He took care of
Yes.
my babies, man.
Yes, rest in peace to that brother.
The whole entire world was
Yeah.
watching that, and they continue to watch it. That's why there's so many news stations, right?
Which is sad, the whole situation with him. I actually, to an extent, can relate because in 2010, I had a similar kind of situation happen to me in St.
sorry.
Paul, in
Yep.
Roseville.
Yep, Roseville.
Yeah, I had a bunch of
Oh,
cops.
we love Roseville.
Oh man, so when I saw that happen to him, it was really it was
triggering.
personal, right?
Yeah, it's
because
triggering.
I was like, yo, the day the cops, took me to the ground for, something someone lied on me about,
Right.
right? It could have been me,
It could have been your life.
right? It could have been my
Facts.
life. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
And that's what a lot of people don't understand. We think
Yeah.
about that all day long.
right,
And
right,
as a mother of brown boys,
yeah,
that from the time I moved here. Like
Right.
people thought, oh, these conversations are new. They're having these new conversations. No.
No.
From the time, actually, when I was up in Canada, I remember my oldest bonus son.
Okay.
He was up there visiting in Winnipeg, and he wanted to go to Blockbuster. And I was like, okay, take the bike. Make sure you write down the phone. And I was like, you got to be home by 10.
Right.
And he was like, home by 10. And oh, actually, you don't got to be home by 10, but our rule is home by 10. He's like, well, no, in Minnesota, the curfew is this and this time. And I was like, curfew?
Wow.
Curfew in Trinidad is when we shut down the country. There was a Muslim coup.
Absolutely
What do you mean
agree.
there's a curfew for? And so I didn't
Right.
understand it until I came here and,
Yeah.
and was watching how he was growing and what he had to experience. And I was like, it's insane.
Yeah,
and he's
it's
and he's
insane.
light-skinned, right? But still.
Yeah.
It's insane to
Yeah.
have to try and even just maneuver how to get by every day in this country.
And it's crazy because
Literally.
I'm glad you brought up the Trinidad thing because I lived in South Africa for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I actually lived in South Africa when they had the whole black toilets,
Yep.
white toilets
Yep,
thing going
yep.
on. You know what I mean? And so I knew a taste of what racism and stuff like that was like
Right.
before I came out here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, when all this stuff is happening, it's like, I revisit my experience back there, and I'm like, you know what? It's a conversation that's, like you said, it's a worldwide
It's
conversation.
globally connected.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And the beautiful thing about it now is social media.
Yes.
Because
The
now
power of
yeah,
this.
exactly.
Right.
Because now everybody's talking about
Right.
it. Even
And
their
it's
own
being
kids.
seen, even if you don't hear the wording behind it or the vocals.
Yeah.
You're witnessing stuff.
That's
right?
a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
And I'm loving it, I do love, I, not to go to that tangent, but one thing I do love is when I see the white kids and they going just as hard.
I was telling my son, because Central High School went really hard with protesting this last school year.
Okay.
Nationwide protesting. And I was like, you guys the traction you guys are getting, we haven't gotten in 50 to 60 years. And it's just amazing and outstanding. They were fighting sexual violence, they were fighting racism,
That's
they were fighting
amazing.
injustice, a whole bunch of things all at once,
That
right?
is amazing.
And I was so proud of them and the
Yeah.
attention they were getting. I was like, yes,
Yes.
it is about time.
Amazing.
And
Gotta
they
love
were
it.
18 and under.
And that's the beauty, I gotta say this, right? This new generation, they get a lot of flack, but I gotta
They're
say
powerful.
they are powerful, right? Because they are really going
They're
out
using
there.
the tools and
And
building
they're
the
not afraid.
foundation.
Right.
Facts.
They're
On
not
that
afraid.
note, we're going to be right back. My name is TrinnyCee, and I'm here with the one and only.
Graveyard shifter, baby.
We'll be right back
Yep.
after this moment.
Alrighty.
Hi, I'm Willie Green from Real Deal ENT, and when I'm in the Twin Cities, I watch Hip Hop Nation on First World TV.
Welcome back. My name is TrinnyCee. I'm your host here on Hip Hop Nation, brought to you by First World TV, live from well, not live, we're taping, but right now it'll be live for you. Live from CCX Media Studios. And I'm here with the one and only Graveyard
Shifter.
We've
Yes,
shifted
indeed.
into the morning. Well, it might be night for you, depending on what time you're watching this, or early morning.
For sure.
So tell us who you are. We talked a little bit about the politics. We got into that deepness of how we have to wear these armor every day, all day long. Who
Yes.
are you? Tell the Twin Cities, who are you?
So initially, I'd just like to tell people, I'm a futurist.
Ooh, a futurist.
I am a futurist. Since I was a kid, I've always looked ahead.
Nice.
I've always tried to see, what the future, entails.
Okay.
I'm more of I'm like a sci-fi movie walking.
Got it.
You know what I mean?
I love
And
it.
so even with my music, I incorporate that into, what I do musically.
Right.
Because I always try, I believe music is escapism, right?
Okay.
And so I feel like a lot of music these days, that element of escapism,
Right.
they don't really harp on that as much.
Uh-huh.
So what I do is I try to incorporate that into the music. So when you listen to Graveyard Shifter, what you're listening to is world building.
Nice.
Right? So I build a whole different world, a universe, sonically. So you put on your headphones and you're like, okay, I just escaped Earth or this reality. So just to summarize it, I'll tell people that to describe me is to describe, a sci-fi movie. I'm a futurist.
Nice.
That's it.
Okay.
In not so many words.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you just do music? Not just music, but do you just dabble in music, or do you also do some other stuff?
I do other things.
Okay.
So the truth is my first love was film.
Nice.
Right? So when I was young, I used to write these film scripts, come up with ideas or
Nice.
whatever. But I got into the music first because it was the easier,
Easier way to get in.
way to
It
get
was more
in.
viable at that time, right?
Exactly.
Right.
So over the years, I've written a lot of ideas or scripts or whatever.
Okay.
And now I'm at the point where I think it's time for me to delve into the film aspect of things, maybe shoot a few short films here and there.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I do that on the side. Like in the last 2 weeks, I was out of town just shadowing a friend who was directing, his little short film.
Nice.
And I was learning. I was picking things
Exactly.
up. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And there's so much to learn when it comes to film.
Yes, there
and
is.
videography and photography and
It's a beautiful
and
craft.
being on the set and being
Yes.
out in the field and
Absolutely.
the production of it. There's a lot.
It does a lot.
A lot. There's a lot of heavy equipment too.
I noticed that. I did notice
Yeah,
that. But
I learned so much when I was at TPT. Just I loved
Okay.
the behind the scenes kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And so
yeah,
like
yeah.
the big rigs and how you have to use a jib to do certain things. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do that. I also write short stories. Mm-hmm. And I write bizarre short stories and stuff like that. So
What does bizarre mean though? It's kind of like what is normal. Like there is no normal.
I like how you think.
But what is bizarre? Like
I like how you think. So, I mean, in essence, what I do is this, right? So imagine if you read something, right? And when you're done reading it, you sit back and you think for a second.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do when you read. Otherwise, you put the book down and be like, next.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? When you sit back and you think about it, you're like, what did I just read? That's what I do. Okay?
As long as it's like, what did I?
Right.
It's not, what did I just eat?
I mean, that's a good point. That's a good point, but
I would be like, what did I just read? Oh, I read a book.
right.
It is red, and was the print too fine? Like, why didn't they make a bigger print?
Let me explain it better, right?
What's the addition?
It's kind of like when you watch a horror film, right?
Yeah.
There are different
A
types
good
of
horror
horror.
film.
Right.
Okay.
There are different types
Which
of
are hard to
horror,
come by,
right?
right, yeah.
So you might watch a ghost film and have jump scares and be like, oh, it was just a ghost film.
Yeah.
But then there's that niche horror that you watch and you're like, wait, who thought about this?
Literally.
Right. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like, this is a crazy concept.
Right.
So that's what I try to write. So this winter, which is something I'm going to do, is a lot of the stuff I wrote down, I'm going to turn them into audiobooks on my YouTube.
Nice. Audiobooks. You're
Right.
just elaborating everything you're touching. That's amazing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to make it a weekly thing where I'm like, okay, next week, chapter 2, chapter 3. And I want by the time I'm done, people will ask themselves
Yeah.
that question, what did I just hear?
Right.
You
And
know?
when am I going to get more?
Something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's basically what I do. So I make music, film, and write. That's
Nice.
it. Yeah.
That's it. Music, film, and write. That's it.
I mean, I also try to.
Where's
let
the
me
balance?
add this.
Where's the balance?
Right. Let me add something else. I also try to give back to the
Okay.
community.
Okay. I
So,
love that. That's
yeah.
all I do.
Yeah.
All
that's
day
what
long.
matters.
People call me and they're like, okay, how much can I pay you? And if it's about community, I'm like,
Right.
you can buy me dinner or coffee or something. I rarely, and then they're like, well, when is somebody going to do for you? I don't do it for clout or for somebody to do something for me. I do it because I
Absolutely.
have the capacity and I'm able to give that olive branch, right?
But we also must honor. I believe deep in my heart of hearts, we must honor those that really do for our communities
Yeah.
too. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, they're valid in what they're saying.
Yeah, but I was just raised you just do. Like, you don't do it for clout. You don't, there's so much I do that people just don't even know I do. And,
Absolutely.
But now my children are beginning to find it out because the people will see posts of me and my kids every now and then.
Okay.
And they'll move around and they'll be like, oh, your mom did such and such for me. So I think they're just understanding. And they're
amazing.
like, what? My
That's
mom?
amazing.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
And
great.
oh, we
Yeah.
know your mom from doing such and such. And
Yeah.
so you have to, I think if you're going to walk this earth in a good way in a positive manner and get blessings, you have to give back to your community.
Absolutely.
And reinvest.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, you're just floating. And there
you
might
know,
not be no future with floating.
You
might
just said
eventually
something powerful.
deflate.
You just said something powerful. Reinvest.
Reinvest.
I really I believe strongly in
Yes,
that.
you have to reinvest.
You
This
know
is
what
a
I mean?
reinvestment. What I'm doing here right now is a reinvestment in our community.
Yes.
I'm not coming here to volunteer my time for me. I'm doing it for our community.
Absolutely.
For you, to give you
Yes.
guys the space. For somebody else to be sitting at home in grandma's kitchen and be
Yeah.
like, I want to be a futurist. What's a
Yes.
futurist?
Absolutely.
And if
That's
grandma doesn't
amazing.
know, now because of COVID, they know how to use social media. Well, let's go check him out, who he is.
Wow, that's amazing.
And,
I love it.
You know,
Love it.
maybe that child just lost their parent or something, and that gives
Yeah.
them the motivation to do something. But we
Yeah.
have to reinvest. Otherwise, we're
that's
wasting the beautiful resource of a place such like this, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
I agree with that.
So, like I said, here we are, chopping it up, having an amazing time, full of smiles, talking about the future as well as the current. My name is TrinnyCee. Again, I'm here live and direct, Hip Hop Nation, Minnesota, from First World TV, and we will be right back after these lovely moments.
Yes, indeed.
What's good, everybody? It's your girl EB, and when I'm in the Twin Cities, I watch Hip Hop Nation on First World TV.
Welcome back. Here we are. Oh, we're going to get into just a little bit more of like, who do you admire currently in the hip hop industry? It doesn't have to be an artist. It could be, you know,
So
a CEO, an upcoming person.
I know anybody watching this right now who's a fan of mine.
Yeah.
They're gonna be they're gonna say, watch this. He is gonna say Cool G Rap.
Okay, Cool G Rap. Why?
He's the reason why I rap in the first place.
Okay.
The first time I heard him, his bar schemes, this guy can create a movie scene
Oh.
in
sounds
16
like a
bars.
Sounds like a partnership coming up.
I mean, the guy he's a brilliant artist, right?
Yeah.
But here's what I really, really admire about him, right? Because he's still active.
Right.
Since the 80s, 90s, till today, he's still one of the most relevant MCs
Let's say it again.
to do it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And, you know, no shade to Tupac. A lot of people say, you know, Tupac is the greatest of all time. And
Yeah.
that's their opinion.
Right.
To me, it's Cool G Rap.
Okay.
Because-
Cool G Rap. Hey, Cool G Rap.
Right, because I would say this, right? Even now, there are a lot of young, talented rappers.
I have no clue.
Not even that, they are afraid of him.
Oh.
They won't get on the record
Yeah.
with him because he's that great. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So I admire the fact that, you know, he does give the younger generation a shot.
Okay.
So if you notice a lot of his new tracks, there are a lot of newer rappers
Yes.
on his new tracks.
Yeah.
And I love that because it's something I try to do, you know, over the past few years where I'd like find someone who's trying to get I'm not saying I'm the greatest or the biggest rapper around, but you know, some people listen.
Right.
So if I can help you get your numbers up, okay, let's see what you got. And so he does that.
He reinvests.
There it is.
He reinvests.
There it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I mean-
I really admire him. I do.
I remember 10 years ago, I was just stuck in my ways when it came to promoting shows and how I was doing things. And just really like, I'm just going to focus on what I want. And then
Okay.
in the last 5 years, it's like, what are you doing? Where are you going?
Yeah.
What's happening in the future? And one thing I knew is that it's been such a struggle to be a female in the entertainment industry.
That is so true.
That I have selected a few important people, especially women, young women, to share my knowledge with.
Absolutely.
Because if I would have known 20 years ago what I know now, I would be sitting in New York doing this.
That's true.
Not like I wouldn't do it again here, but I would definitely be on a larger platform. Is that a goal of mine? No, but I'm just saying I just know the power that if I had that empowerment,
Yeah.
I would be way more powerful. So I have to reinvest and give somebody else a chance. Because there
gotta
is a
agree
mini
with
me
you.
out there somewhere, right?
Yeah, I gotta agree with you about the whole situation with women in this industry.
Man.
And it's something that's very passionate for me because I try to help a few ladies in this game, and I found it so hard to help them, not because of them, but because of the nature of
what we do.
Yeah.
And what we've been exposed to.
Yeah, and you know, it's unfortunate that women
have to go through it.
They have to go through that with all the talent they have. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy. I had some people come in town last night, and I had one of the gentlemen ask me, like, "I'm sure you get hollered at all the time." I'm like, "No." I said, "If they're trying to holler at me, I shut that down right away because I don't mix business with pleasure."
With pleasure, right.
And most recently in my personal life, because I know so many people, and especially male, because it's a male-dominated industry.
Absolutely.
It came into my relationship where it's impossible you could know these people and never been with any of them. This is my work.
Crazy.
Yes, and this is what I do for a living. I would never say that to a man that's in the industry doing what I do.
You know,
I would never do that. And so the fact that us women even have to hear that misogynistic statement.
And it is very much, thank you, that's the word.
It's so hurtful, but it gives me more empowerment to be like, you know what, we ain't on the same level. It's cool. You go over there and think you're narrow-minded thinking.
Yeah.
I'm going to continue to stack my accomplishments and do what I do. But women go through so much, from what we wear to how we walk into a room, especially if you're a woman of color.
Yes.
And then if you stand up for yourself, you that angry black woman. First of all, I'm brown.
And that trope is so tired.
Second of all, I'm passionate.
Right.
And when I get angry, I shut down. So you don't even know. So it's just really hard being a female at times because, again, like people think about the angry black woman, and they just think when you're passionate or you're dedicated or you're invested and you want things to go a certain type of way, you get a lot of flack for that.
That's a fact.
And it's hard because at times it makes me want to retract and not do my part.
That's a fact.
And the angry black woman label, man, come on, it is so stale, yo.
And I do actually have a story for that.
Okay.
Right? So I was in Michigan a few weeks ago, and I had gone to their coffee shop, which is called Big B. It's like their Caribou coffee out there, right? So I'm sitting there by the window, and I'm watching. You know, I like to look around and see what's going on. So I see these two cars moving, and there's a white lady in the front car, the black lady right in the back car, and this lady in the front, she brakes quick, and this lady nearly, hits her.
Right.
And after that, the white lady comes out of the car and she starts yelling at the sister. So the sister comes out and she's trying to defend herself. Like, yo, you try to, you braked.
You braked. There was almost a major accident.
Exactly. Anyway,
Probably long story. On the
phone. Long story longer. Next thing you know, this lady starts crying on cue. The white lady, like she's crying on cue. So suddenly all these white folk or everybody, they come around. They gang up with her.
They're consoling her.
Right, and that's a fact.
And the white fragility.
Exactly, and they start yelling at the sister. Now I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, like,
I can't watch this go down.
I can't. So I got up, I walked outside. Of course, they trying to get all gangster with me, and I told them, I was like, listen, I saw everything.
Right.
And you know what's funny? What's funny is while they were arguing, I had my phone on.
Right.
So I told him, I was like, I have it all on camera or whatever, but here's what's going to happen, right? All of you are going to disperse right now because
we fear for our lives.
Exactly.
Literally, like who's done more damage?
Exactly. Now, I'm not trying to sound like I'm a big bad wolf, but all these dudes were a little frail, man, and I'm standing looking over them, so they were like, yo, are you sure? Are you sure that's what happened? I'm like, dude, I'm sure.
Camera don't lie.
Exactly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Unless you edit it.
Long story short, after everybody left, the black lady said to me, and it really stuck with me. She said, real talk, that's exactly how they've been doing me forever. Just because I'm a dark-skinned black woman, anytime I try to defend myself, I don't even have to raise my voice. People think I'm mad, I'm angry, and the sad part is that I usually don't have people to come and defend me the way you done.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Who protects us?
Exactly.
Who protects us?
You know what
and
I'm
we
saying?
go through so much.
Right.
We go through so much. I mean, if anybody has the right to be angry, it has to be us. We have to watch our men, our husband, our children, our uncles, our fathers, our grandfathers, our pastors get abused over and over and over and over again. And then we're supposed to walk into the office Like everything's gravy, pay all the bills, keep everything copacetic,
Yeah.
and keep that smile on our face.
That's a fact.
and it's just kind of like, wait,
And-
what?
And PSA, black man, please, don't just stand there.
Man, hug somebody, something.
Right.
Like you said, walk over, be supportive.
Be supportive.
Yeah.
We got to do more.
But shout out to all
man.
the strong black women, brown women, all the Asians, all the Indian.
Absolutely.
Big up my Sri Lankan family, my Canadian family, my Trinny family. Like, especially the
Salute,
women
salute.
out here, because I had to tell a brother this a while back. Like, I don't know what it is. I've actually gotten pulled over and they thought I was a black man. But you all have no clue what it is trying to protect y'all all
Yes.
day long.
Absolutely.
Every day.
Yeah, yeah.
And he started crying. He's like, so nobody ever broke that down to me.
Yeah.
As soon as there's a shooting, I'm texting everybody.
Yeah. It's,
Is
it's
everybody
deep.
okay?
It's
Is there okay? Is little Darren okay? Is
Yeah.
Bryden okay? Well, let me check where my kids are. Like, my kids share their location with me because
Yeah.
I am worried about their safety for the people I do not know. Not because I do not trust them.
Yeah, yeah.
But on that
yeah.
note, we ain't supposed to be angry at all. No. Make love, not war. Here we are.
Yeah, but and you know, what you're saying is so powerful because it's really, it really resonates with me because it reminds me of, you know, when I was a kid and my mom, she used to do the same thing. You know, she was always like, we could not go anywhere because she felt like we were never safe. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's a sad thing
We
that
are.
we live in a world like this.
We
but
aren't. But hey, here we are. We keep that armor on, we keep it moving, and we keep trying to do what we do
Absolutely.
so we can bring you the future.
That's a fact. That's
So,
a fact.
my name is Trinny. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. It was nice to
appreciate
finally
it.
meet you in person. I've
Thank
been
you, thank
watching
you.
your journey to the future. And,
I appreciate that so
and
much.
Thank you for just doing something different out here, and I
Thank
wish
you.
you all the best in
Thank
your
you
hopes
very
and
much.
dreams.
Thank you very much, beloved.
So yeah, it's just hard surviving in the industry in general. In
Yes.
general. So tell us, what do you have coming up as far as
Okay.
projects?
All right, so in terms of projects this wintertime, I have an album coming out.
Okay.
It's untitled
Yeah.
as of yet, but I think this is one of the few albums that a lot of people are really going to like. For the first time, I kind of allowed some of my producer friends to have an influence. So,
Nice. I think you told me about that a couple months ago when I asked you to be on the show.
Yes.
Okay.
You know,
Right,
so
I'm excited to hear more.
my Wu-Tang La Familia, you
Okay.
know, Falling Down, he's going to be producing a few tracks on that
Nice.
record. So, yeah, look out for that.
Okay.
Yeah, and then if things work out, I have a few meetings. I have a few meetings with a few directors, film directors. Just
Because
sit
you
down.
really want to do that video.
Yes.
I can't wait.
Yeah, so
exciting.
I'm gonna sit down with them, you know, pitch
Mm-hmm.
what I got. If it works out, boom, we're making that happen.
If you don't do it, you're already telling yourself no. So the fact that you're doing it is a yes.
That's a fact.
Yeah,
That's
and you're
a
living
great-
and learning. Even if they say, well, not at this time, you will learn the next time how to do it bigger and better and secure what you need to secure.
Absolutely, and
Yeah.
you know, I always tell people, and it might sound arrogant, but I always tell people the shifter always gets what he wants.
Right.
And
Oh.
that's it.
Right.
You know, I always go for what I want.
Yeah.
Nothing stops me.
Amen.
So I'm gonna make it happen.
How do you stay motivated? Like especially if there's some young men out here watching, how do you stay motivated in your craft?
That's a great question. You know, I think for me personally, I tend not to care about what anybody else is doing.
Ooh.
You know, I just focus on what I want to do.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
self-motivation.
Right, because here's the thing. I've noticed that a lot of people, they fall off the wayside because,
They're worried about everybody else.
right.
And or what they might think of you.
Exactly.
Right.
And me, I always kill that white noise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
That static.
do I have people who probably don't like what I do? Sure. But you
Right.
know what? I've never heard of them.
Right.
Because I don't care about them. You know what I mean? So I would say to the young folk, right? If you're doing something and you know what you got, just stay focused on
Right.
it. You know what I'm saying?
And don't
Do
let
that
nobody
damn thing.
derail you. Like, you
Right.
know what I mean? If you want to go out and make garbage bag shoes and somebody thinks it's a crazy idea, well, look at what Kanye West just came up with the other day.
Exactly. You know what I mean? and he's a very interesting guy.
He took the styrofoam cock and just, I'm just kidding.
No, but seriously, that's a good point because you know when it comes to him, I say this
People
a lot.
spend how much money on them shoes, though? And I bet you 20 years ago.
The man sold
He
the
had
white
a-
tee for $200. When he did that, I sat down. I was like, bro, what are you doing with your life? For real. Like, I don't know, man.
And why do you think you can't make it? Like,
Yeah. And that's a good point. Like, if a man can sell you
a white T-shirt
a white T-shirt for $200,
that costs nothing to make.
come on, guys. We
And
can
it's probably
do it.
recycled white T-shirts
Yeah.
like that.
You know what I'm saying?
Somebody else's blood, sweat, and tears.
You know what
I'm sorry, not to rip on Kanye. We're just talking.
And you know what? And listen,
Kudos to Kanye, though. Whatever he's doing,
Whatever
he's making
he's
waves. Whether
doing.
you like it or not, he's doing it his way, and he doesn't
You
care.
gotta respect it.
And people
Yeah.
can say he changed after his mom passed, or maybe
Yeah.
he's still the same, and we just seen a different version of him because of social media.
You know what I think about him? I think Kanye he's a pseudo futurist.
Okay.
But here's the problem with him, right? He's a pseudo futurist that is very a radical version of it. And I think the world ain't ready
They're not ready.
for, his ideas.
They never have been.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because even me, I promise you, some people, when they listen to my albums, they come back and they say to me, they're like, dude,
I wasn't ready for that.
in 200 years, I think people will listen to your stuff and go, is this new?
Right.
And I'm like, that's the point.
Facts. That's the point.
That's the point. So I think Kanye West, he's kind of on the same
Yeah.
level, I also think that he might be dealing with a few internal things.
We all are.
Yeah, and
At
he
the end of the
needs
day, we're
help.
human.
Yeah, we're human, and I think people should stop exploiting him
Yep.
and just
Let him be.
Let him be and get him some help if he needs it. It's important in this industry, but what do I know?
Right.
You
Would
know?
you like to give any shout outs or big ups to anybody out there?
Yes. First and foremost, big shout outs to the people that helped Graveyard Shifter even get off, the ground. So big shout outs to Wu-Tang Clan. Big shout outs to my brother Busta Rhymes. I always appreciate the affirming texts and words you always send me. You know what I'm saying? Shout outs to my peoples here in Minnesota. Long Doe, Tony Bones and them.
Long Doe,
You know what I'm
what's
saying?
up?
I mess with them 100. Big shout outs to, my brother Verb and, everybody else that's trying to do. Big shout outs to you. You deserve the biggest shout out of all time because, we would not be getting
In
the
this space.
exposure.
We've been on
or in
social
this
media
space.
together forever, and
Yeah.
finally we're actually talking.
Right, and I got to tell you, I'm very grateful for the opportunity because, it's not every time anybody says to you, hey, look, I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
I think it's valid.
And follow through.
And follow through.
Yep.
So big shout outs to you, for real.
Thank you.
No
and
doubt.
big ups to all of you watching the show. Thank you for your time. Thank you for caring. Thank you to everybody behind the scenes here. And we'll see you next time live here on Hip Hop Nation, First World TV, your girl TrinnyCee, and Graveyard Shifter.
Thank you for having
Stay
me.
blessed.
Salute.
We are magic. Have to believe we are magic. Have to believe we are magic. Nothing can stand in our way.
Welcome to the Holy Bible. Yeah. The street ministry for silent souls and those ready to claim knowledge of self as power. Now is the time. Let's rock.
Yes, y'all. Twin Cities. Worldwide. Yeah, nothing can stand in our way. Truth Maze in the building. Yeah, like to say, big up to Cash the Great. To my brother, live forever. King Yak, live forever. Truth Maze is in the building. Big up Afro Preacher, DJ Divine. CCX Media, here we are. Hey, 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 hey. Yo, yes, y'all. God's hands For you and yours, Truth Maze. You see, with my words I could heal or kill. Talk fuck shit or truly keep it real. I could grab up a burner and flame my brother, or he and I could train so we elevate each other. I could talk about pussy all day and all night and not admit I'm toxic and don't treat women right. I could tell everybody how to pop a new pill, or tell the next generation the matrix is real. Cause what I know is I hold the power at will. Still sharp and still, god damn it, it's ill. For lyrically the blade I hold, it takes skill. Specially designed so I can kill Bill. And the fake shit in me I need to reveal. It's what a god does with the ability to build. My soul is my rock, my spirit's my shield. My soul is my rock, my spirit's my shield.